For every loved DCEU character, there's one that fans absolutely can't stand. Starting with Jared Leto as the Joker in Suicide Squad. This should have been the role of a lifetime, but when the movie finally dropped in 2016, DC fans didn't just reject the film, they rejected him. Leto's Joker was marketed as a dangerous, unpredictable villain who would steal the show. But what fans got was something far more cringeworthy. The tattoos, the grills, the whole gangster aesthetic felt like someone's edgy fanfiction brought to life. And it wasn't just the look. The performance itself felt over the top in all the wrong ways. When Heath Ledger set the bar impossibly high with The Dark Knight, Leto's version felt like it was trying too hard to be different and ended up being forgettable instead. But things got worse behind the scenes. Stories started coming out about Leto's method acting. He sent Margot Robbie a live rat, bullets to Will Smith, and brought a dead pig to the table for the entire cast. While Leto defended these as creative choices to get into character, most people saw it as unnecessary and unprofessional. The worst part? Despite all that effort, Joker barely appeared in Suicide Squad. Fans felt cheated, and many were relieved when Warner Bros. Quietly shelved plans for his solo Joker movie. Then Joaquin Phoenix came along and destroyed whatever credibility Leto's version had left. Phoenix's Joker won an Oscar and became a cultural phenomenon. Leto reportedly tried to stop that movie from happening, which only made fans dislike him more. When Zack Snyder gave him a second chance in Justice League, some appreciated the effort, but by then, the damage was done. Most DC fans had moved on and wanted nothing to do with Leto's Joker ever again. Now, while Jared Leto's Joker represents everything that can go wrong with a casting choice, there's one actress who proved everyone wrong from day one. Because when Gal Gadot was announced as Wonder Woman back in 2013, the internet exploded with doubt. People said she was too thin, not strong enough, didn't have the presence. Then Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice came out in 2016. The moment Wonder Woman dropped into that fight with Doomsday, blocking his laser beam with her bracelets while her iconic theme song played, audiences went crazy. Even in a messy, divisive film, Gadot stole every scene she was in. She radiated power and compassion in a way the DCEU desperately needed. Critics who doubted her casting immediately had to eat their words. Then came Wonder Woman in 2017, and it changed everything. The movie wasn't just good for a DC film, it was genuinely great. That no man's land sequence where Diana walks into gunfire became one of the most iconic superhero moments ever put on film. The movie made over $820 million worldwide and became the DCEU's first critical darling. Gadot's performance was the heart of it all. What made fans love Gadot wasn't just her acting, it was her genuine love for the character. In interviews, she spoke passionately about Wonder Woman's values and what she represents. She trained relentlessly for the role, doing many of her own stunts. She brought her military background to give the character authentic warrior energy. Fans could tell she wasn't just playing a part, she embodied Diana Prince. Even when Wonder Woman 1984 disappointed in 2020, nobody blamed Gadot. The script had issues, the pacing dragged, but her performance remained strong. Fans wanted more of her Wonder Woman, not less. When James Gunn announced the DCU reboot and it became clear Gadot wouldn't return, the disappointment was massive. She remains one of the few universally loved aspects of the entire DCEU era. Now, while Gal Gadot represents a perfect casting that nobody saw coming, our next character is someone fans were excited about but ended up completely divided over, because Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor in Batman v Superman was one of the most controversial choices in DCEU history. When the casting was announced, people were confused. Eisenberg was known for playing awkward, fast-talking characters. Lex Luthor is supposed to be a powerful, intimidating billionaire genius. The moment audiences saw Eisenberg's performance, those fears became reality. This wasn't Lex Luthor. This was Jesse Eisenberg doing his usual shtick but with a bald head. The character was twitchy, manic, constantly shifting between whispers and screams. He fed a senator a Jolly Rancher in the middle of a serious conversation. Nothing about the performance felt grounded or threatening. Fans wanted a Lex Luthor who could stand toe-to-toe with Superman intellectually and emotionally. Instead, they got someone who felt more like the Riddler on a bad day. The writing didn't help, with convoluted plans and motivations that never quite made sense. But even with better material, Eisenberg's interpretation felt completely wrong for the character. To this day, his Lex Luthor is cited as one of the worst villain performances in superhero movie history. But while Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor divided fans from the start, there's one actor who united everyone in appreciation, because Jason Momoa as Aquaman did the impossible. He made Aquaman cool. For decades, Aquaman was the butt of jokes, the guy who talks to fish, the lamest Justice League member. Nobody took him seriously. Then Jason Momoa showed up in Batman v Superman with long hair, tattoos, and an attitude. This wasn't your grandfather's Aquaman. This was a hard-drinking, motorcycle-riding, badass warrior who happened to rule the ocean. Momoa brought his natural charisma and physicality to the role in a way that felt effortless. Fans immediately wanted more. When Aquaman finally hit theaters in 2018, it became the highest-grossing DCEU movie ever, making over $1.15 billion worldwide. The film was a visual spectacle with underwater battles and a surprisingly fun adventure story. But Momoa was the heart of it all. He balanced humor, action, and genuine emotion perfectly. His chemistry with the cast, especially Amber Heard and Patrick Wilson, elevated every scene. What made fans love Momoa went beyond the screen. He incorporated his Pacific Islander heritage into the character, giving Aquaman cultural depth. He performed his own stunts, spending hours underwater during filming. In interviews, he was genuine, funny, and clearly loved playing the role. He defended the character with passion and made Aquaman a fan favorite when nobody thought that was possible. Even when Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom underperformed in 2023, fans blamed the troubled production and franchise fatigue, not Momoa. The news that he's moving to the DCEU as Lobo, a character he's loved since childhood, was met with excitement rather than disappointment. Momoa proved you can reinvent a character people wrote off and make them iconic again. While Jason Momoa's Aquaman became an unexpected triumph, the DCEU's most divisive character might be Henry Cavill's Superman. And yes, he's both loved and hated, which makes him unique. When Man of Steel dropped, in 2013, it split fans down the middle. Some loved the darker, more grounded take on Superman. Others hated that he snapped Zod's neck and caused massive destruction. Cavill himself was never the problem. He looked like Superman stepped out of the comics. He had the physicality, the presence, the charm when the script allowed it. But Zack Snyder's vision kept Superman brooding and serious, which frustrated fans who wanted the hopeful, inspiring hero from the comics. Batman v Superman made it worse by having Superman barely smile and then killing him off in his second movie. The behind-the-scenes drama didn't help. The CGI mustache removal in Justice League became a meme. Warner Bros. Kept Cavill in limbo for years, unsure if they wanted him back. When he finally returned for Black Adam's post-credits scene in 2022, fans were ecstatic. Then James Gunn announced the DCU reboot, and Cavill was out again. The whiplash left a bitter taste. But here's the thing, most fans who criticize Cavill's Superman blame the writing and direction, not the actor. They recognize he did the best with what he was given. He trained relentlessly, embodied the character physically, and showed glimpses of a perfect Superman when allowed. His departure from the role felt like wasted potential more than anything else. Henry Cavill remains a what could have been for many DC fans. Now, as the DCEU comes to an end and the DCU begins, one thing is clear. The franchise gave us characters we'll never forget, for better or worse. From Jared Leto's cringeworthy Joker to Gal Gadot's iconic Wonder Woman, from Jesse Eisenberg's bizarre Lex Luthor to Jason Momoa's scene-stealing Aquaman, these performances shaped a decade of DC movies. Some became legends fans will defend forever. Others became cautionary tales of what not to do. But all of them left their mark on superhero cinema in ways we're still talking about today. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite shows and the actors behind them. And if you want to see how the Stranger Things cast stacks up. Up next, most hated versus most loved Stranger Things actors. Trust me, some of these might surprise you. See you there.